you had some duties to perform behind the scenes in terms of reports to the bishops about the welfare and the growth of the university. So Bernard Fonlon, in that sense, was like a mentor, because I fell back to the idea of the university by Bernard Fonlon. Yeah. So it was not too long ago. We have talked about Cardinal Arinze, who became friends and who also has visited me. It was then I saw in the social media him talking about it is time for us to begin to think about his canonization, possible canonization.
Oh, you see it on social media?
Yes, social media. I read about it and I was really excited.
Can I what about that?
Yes, it was in the social media. So this afternoon, hearing you talk about Fonlon, so that's why I said, well, and I said, come. So this is what my little recollection of Bernard Fonlon, not knowing him as such, in persona, but knowing him virtually
through his writings,
and his life of witness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Msgr. Ekpenyong. In fact, when you were talking, I just went back. That article you got to every African freshman or the nature of the university studies, published in Abia, number 23, 24, 26, 1971. He wrote that on the nature of the university. In fact, I have the whole text.
Yeah, that was it. Yes, that was the greatest.
Interesting. And Msgr. Ekpenyong, he wrote also an open letter to the Bishop of Bamenda when they wanted to inaugurate the major seminary. He wrote to them the letter. He told them the importance of the priest to be a scholar, not only to be a priest who just celebrates mass. So things have changed.
Yes, and that's true. That too has encouraged me, because sitting down as a pastor, it has also challenged me to translate the experiences into something you can share.
That's true.
With others. So pastoral experience, the stories of the people, how do they challenge the gospel, and how are you able to share that? So it has thus become part of my struggles in terms of writing.
I see. Wow, I'm very impressed. And Msgr, another question has to do with an intellectual and Christian in politics. Fonlon distinguished himself as a true Christian, having embedded the moral, spiritual, and intellectual values from the seminary. What advice do you have to young people as far as Fonlon is concerned?
Well, still following this intellectual development.
Yes.
As the Deputy Secretary General of the Catholic Secretary of Nigeria, working along with these greats of Very Reverend Father George Ebusani, in company with now Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Hanan Kuka,
Bishop of Sokoto.
Bishop of Sokoto. Now, I was privileged to be asked to also manage the Department of Pastoral Agents in the Catholic Secretariat. And under the pastoral agents, we're also in charge of seminaries.
Okay.
Also religious. Okay? Now, it was during my time under Bishop Buck that we had to write the Ratio Fundamentalis for the seminaries. And you imagine where some of the insight you got from what you are talking about here. What is the impact of Bernard Fonlon? Because just this morning, at the table, dining table, with my assistant priest. He was talking about that ratio. That in Bodija, the ratio became like next to the canon law.
Wow.
Because of the various principles enunciated which were to be internalized by the seminarians as they were being formed for the challenges ahead. So in some sense, you're asking me about his intellectual impact. I'm saying through the work in the Catholic Secretariat, for the purpose of the common good of the church in Nigeria, through the formation of priests, even at that level, without mentioning Bernard Fonlon, there's something that has gone into what has become the ratio fundamentalis for the seminaries, all the seminaries in Nigeria. Not only that, there is also the document that is called I Choose You. That is like what every priest in Nigeria is supposed to, because it contains all the principles and guidelines to, as you continue to go on in your life as a priest. Not only that, also a document called to love, which is something during this thing about sexual abuse, we were now to bring out a document to help guide. So, without saying that Bernard Fonlon, I didn't, but I'm saying with some of his papers that I read, they've had some kind of influence on me, the way I look at life, and especially in the course of my work as a Deputy Secretary General and the Secretary General of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, in terms of this thing we're talking about, the priest as an intellectual. And that also has helped me because being Secretary General, I had to give papers.
That's true.
I have been able to, at least during my tenure, I gave at least I've given 3 major keynote addresses at the Bishop's Conference. The last one, which I just, like a week or so ago, Archbishop Joe of Ibadan, Emeritus, just called me. Monsignor Mike, do you still remember the theme of the Eucharistic Congress that took place in Ibadan? And I walked up and I pulled out. I said, yes, this is the theme. But at that first 12, that is 2002. Then the second one took place in 2012, 10 years after. And at that 2012, I gave one of the papers about forgiveness towards restoration in Nigeria. And that before you came, the young man came that I wanted to be made into a pamphlet. Okay? But what was interesting about that paper was I challenged the bishops of Nigeria that we must publicly apologize for the commissions and omissions we have caused to bring Nigeria to where it is. That would be a starting point for this thing about forgiveness and reconciliation and for possible restoration. And after that talk, it's just to, you're asking me about the impact of Fonlon. I'm not saying Fonlon that I met him and all. I am saying what I read and his
writings about his
slide at the university. So after that presentation, for the first time I can say, somebody in government ran down to me and said, they say your paper is not just for this, not just for the church. But it's also good for the government. And the man was the protocol officer in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, at the end of that Congress, at the Papal ground, the bishops of Nigeria stood publicly and apologized.
Wow.
The bishops from the 6 geopolitical zones, they chose each of them to lead prayer. That was because at the end, I can say this, the now Archbishop of Lagos, when he saw me, he patted me, you are the cause of this, you are the cause of that. So it was something that it humbled me.
Okay.
But I'm saying this in this context of who influences you, where do you get some of this, how do you now see life and begin to live that life. And so the past matters a lot. Reading matters. So Bernard Fonlon in some sense has helped me in my teaching ministry in the religious seminary as a lecturer in metaphysics, lecturer in ethics, missionary seminary of Fonlon, and the provincial seminary here. Well, that's leave that answers to the
No, it does, and it has. I'm very, very elated to get this wonderful testimony from you. In fact, there's a wonderful statement here about Fonlon, about the letter we are talking about the university. It says, the university, according to Newman, should be a sort of ideal land where the archetypes of the great and the fair are found in substantial being, and all departments of truth are explored, and all diversities of intellectual power exhibited, where taste and philosophy are majestically enthroned as in a royal court, where there is no sovereignty but that of the mind, and no nobility but that of genius, where professors and rulers and princes do homage.
But most importantly,
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
forget,
Yes.
even being an intellectual,
Yes.
Pena,
Yes. Yeah, it's good. That's good.
even being an intellectual,
Yes.
most importantly, Pena Fonlon was character, principle. Adversity never destroyed. From, as you know, in those kinds of circumstances, with such a brilliant mind, the possibility was
Yeah, just say goodbye to the church.
goodbye to the church, for whatever reason, but he showed that the school didn't pass through him,
It must
he
be.
passed through. And not only that, he then was able to found his own school by his writing and the life that he has led. And here I am, people here,
Yes.
very few know that I was Secretary General of the Bishops' Conference. Some said, it went back to these parish priests. So if you ask me,
Yes.
where do you draw inspiration? It's been very difficult. You know, you were sitting down at that level,
That's true.
dishing out general principles
And instructions.
to the diocese.
That's true.
Now I am here. How do you implement those principles that you were dishing out to the
The
diocese?
diocese obviously can be.
Then the challenge, yes. So now, so you have people you can look up to. They say, It is not demeaning.
Exactly.
After being
Up there,
up there, doing things for and to come here and it's tough to reassure, but it's okay. There's nothing demeaning.
No, at all.
So we are now sharing being at Fonlon as an intellectual, as a humanist, as a Christian, but also as a disciple.
That's exactly what the lecture of
Living that faith.
To conclude, Monsignor, Professor Dr. Sekika, in his letter to the bishops about the seminary, there's something very important which he wrote, which I would like you to comment. It's about poverty and discipline. He said, in his open letter, Bernard pleaded for two essential qualities in all those who will pass through the new middle seminary, namely saintliness and learning. As to the first requirement, saintliness, he argued forcefully for discipline and poverty in the life of every Christian. This is what he said. In a world that is ranked and rotting with materialism, where hedonism is the principal philosophy, where luxury is the summum bonum, there is a crying need for dedicated souls who will go to the other extreme, and espouse the spirit of genuine religion, the spirit of poverty, the spirit of austere abstemiousness, in order to wage war against the onslaught of materialistic godliness. What can you comment about Father, to conclude about poverty and the world you see today? People just confused with material things. They think that's all about.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a question that I am not the best person to comment, but I said, please accept my listening with a grain of salt.
Okay.
From experience. Now, I was in the seminary teaching. I have been in the administration of the diocese, archdiocese, and the seat of the Catholic Conference. Okay? Now, I've seen that there's a big challenge for us in the pastoral ministry. But the greatest challenge is, who do you want to become? Not who you are, but who do you want to become as pastors. I tell you a story. Yes, I'm a story. When I was in Abuja, there is something that's very interesting. During Lent, we have stations of the cross every Friday. And so, that day, the Pro Cathedral in Abuja, field in Garki. But I was staying with the Archbishop in the Archbishop's house, just across celebration secondary school. We built that because of grace that I was Archbishop. Wow. We had, I had just finished Stations of the Cross with the people, and I was walking back to the house. And suddenly I heard somebody said, "Father, Father, Uyo." That was some terms of endearment, words of endearment that was just between me and a shoemaker. There was a particular shoemaker who was my friend. And apparently he had come from his shoemaking place to attend the occasions of the cross before going home. So because we didn't meet for a long time, he saw me, my cargo going back. Yes. And so from the back I heard, "Father, Father, Uyo." Yes. So when I turned, it was him. We exchanged, countries, clapping each other's shoulders. Now, so he then said to me, do you have any shoe to mend? I am here, I can do it. I said, why not? Took him to that bishop's house, told him to sit down, let me go up and break my shoe. So, sat down, did his well. Then I said, what is it? How much? Let me just run down. But how much? So I came down, prepared the listen, gave to me, and I said, how much? Just value that he carried his shoes. Then started to, as he was doing, I heard it say, but Reverend Father, what about all that sick call we used to do at any hour that we call and you come? The masses will say, the confessions will hear. That is my own confession. And I was, the money I held out.
Yes.
And for the first time, I paid attention to him. Before it was, then I looked from head to toe. And it was the first time I saw he was wearing almost something we call wraps. And of course the trousers. Then the shoe. There is a shoe we call Apano Trowe. Trousers and shoes. That means your sole, the sole of your feet actually is rubbing on the ground. Only a small face of this will show here, but the rest, your leg is actually the one. And for the first time I realized this man needed money. And he was going. And I stood there, and I watched him come until he disappeared. Now, since then, that has not left me. Now, here in this parish, I talk to these people with them. If any of them will pass here, will ask, Father, Uyo. It has become my relationship with them. In the sense, what I tell them, what it means. First, that is a terms of endearment, friendship. Without you, you wouldn't be able to carry the burden. But you see, sometimes I am stressed up. You are coming to say, how are you? You are a little stopover, and then you bring something to us in the third retreat. So, it has never been easy, but with you have helped to light that. And so this is my relationship with them. But what does that tell you? In that retreat, I am very serious about anything that the people bring. Immediately, what can we take here? The rest, immediately, either you take it to the spiritual seminary, or to Cardinal Candle's seminary, or to or the poor. Now, I am talking to you about, my experience and what. Now, it is very difficult to leave the poverty because of the new context that we are in. We have talked about materialism. The issue of holiness that we are talking about. In the new age of sexual emancipation, what do we have? So, crisis. So, here I am. I am now making it personal, but an attempt to answer
The question.
a question.
No, you are not-
Because you are talking about somebody who has lived and in his own little way exhibited the signs of witness, Christian witness, and even living his vows of poverty, chastity, and least ever. Here I have broken all the plates. Okay? Now, okay. But the issue of making the effort,
Exactly.
I think that is where putting my the effort, making the effort. Now, while I serve in all these places, people make sure I relate with you. Before I left for studies, our parish were two ordained in the same the people mightily then. But what they did, they gave two of us 2 new cars.
In those days.
Yes, 1977. Volkswagen.
Oh, the same Fonlon.
Right. But what they told us never left my head. They said, listen, you are ordained and you are a priest. So, we are not expecting you to go and bring industry, come and build houses. But as you go, you are our ambassador. You carry our name wherever you go. Yeah, that's all. When I was leaving for studies, I made sure the Volkswagen. No, don't it to the bishop. Look. The circumstances of building apart, but my father never thought going to buy bicycle from this one. So, now, in the various places I've been, I have, you go to some parishes like Abuja, you know, I pass for me to drive, I stand slow, but it is coming back to Uyo for the first time. If you look, you will see a truck there.
That's true.
That's my first car in 40 years.
Wow.
Now, but it is when it came fancy car, you know.
Okay.
Not too many people
Had it.
so, but I got that car. My friends in Tucson died when I was about to. What do you want to say? Because I need a truck because as I'm going back, I don't know, I was going to send it to the interior, the road, and I want to have my mask box and my toolbox, whatever. So they told me, look, okay, they found race. Now, I am the one who came to Nigeria and bought because to buy it and then ferry ship it to. So I came here, it was here. Now, but that's my friend. And then I got another one because they nearly kidnapped me with that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I said I better buy a small one that everybody is driving. But it has not been easy to just send that.
Right? You know the standard of the society.
Okay, so this thing is the society, you know, is like now. The missionary who came to us. I have been to Ireland for the but I know that each time they went from that gathered and fundraised and then they came here, you know. But here we are. They don't have anybody to fundraise. Rather, you have to. So the context makes it very